I love Steve because he's my favorite son.
I really love Steve. He's my very favorite stepson.
I love Mr. President because he's so darn easy to ace.
Ugh. Steve is great. I eat all his Oreos and he only realizes half of the time.
And he has been generous with me through all these years. I could go on and on of all the things that Steve has done. He's moved me, he's been a father to my children, and he's just always been there for me no matter what I need.
I love Steve, that's awkward, because he's one heck of a sweeper.
I love Steve because he thinks he's funny when he's not funny, and that's funny.
I love Steve because he's my go-to emergency contact person. Luckily, we haven't had to use you yet, but maybe in a couple of weeks, we'll get to call you for that. Thanks, Steve.
I love that we've been able to work together for a long time and do a lot of different projects and spend a lot of time together. It's been great.
Happy birthday, Uncle Steve.
I love you, Grandpa. Happy birthday.
I love Grandpa because he speaks my language.
I love Grandpa because he loves me. I love Steve because he gave me a projector. Happy birthday, Grandpa. Hi, Grandpa. Hi,
I love Steve because he enjoys bowling with me and he inherited my rising star.
I love Steve because he instantly made me feel like a welcome member in the Johnson family.
The reason that I love Steve, let me count the ways.
Because he's always making me feel better about my basketball game.
Because he's our Tuesday night sushi night at Mikado go-to person.
You still look great for being as old as you are. Happy birthday.
Because I was scared of him till I was 17.
Because the way you eat your popcorn.
Because he's humble enough to learn from his children and wise enough that we seek his counsel.
Because he has stepped in so well as the only father I have left on this earth.
Because he is my big brother. And I always thought Steve was just the greatest big brother.
Because I never was able to have any boys, so I'm very happy that I got Stephen to be my son.
He's always been my favorite son, and he's grown up to be a wonderful boy.
I'd like to claim him as my real son. In fact, I do that quite often when he's not around.
When we were in the mission field, we made a Christmas card that had our pictures and all the missionaries' pictures. And I sent it back to Steve and said, Steve, please get rid of all my double chins. And he did it! Ah! He made me gorgeous. Thanks, Steve.
I just wanted to take a second to say happy birthday to a great partner and a great friend.
I love Steve because when we come to town, he has steaks, popcorn, and a scary movie for us. I'm pretty sure I'm the favorite daughter-in-law too.
I love you, Dad, because not only were you a great alarm clock growing up, but you've been a great listener and someone I can always talk to.
I love Steve because I've heard him call all of his sons son, and I think it's really special.
I would always watch him play tennis with my dad, and I would always want to go with them. And I always thought he was the coolest guy because he skied, water skied so well.
Thanks for showing me the game of golf.
I think Steve is an okay golfer and a below average basketball player.
I hate to play golf with Steve though because he can hit the ball about 4 times as far as I can.
One of the things I love about Steve is that he likes tennis and golf and all those other sports just like me.
You always make me feel good when I'm golfing. You tell me my stroke's good, I drive, and then you fly by me on the drive, run in the putts, and you say, oh Joe, you're really playing well. At the end of the day, you beat me by about 10 strokes.
I understand you're going to play a lot of golf on your birthday. Let me give you some advice from an old pro. Swing really hard just in case you hit it.
You've shared your hobbies with me. We've been able to hang out a lot and have a lot of fun.
I think Dad is great because he has those certain activities or sports that he likes to do with each of his kids. You all know what I mean. Jake is golf, Logan is tennis,
And I know that you're all secretly jealous that my sport with Dad is Frisbee.
That was fun snorkeling with you in Cancun, so let's do it again. Happy birthday, Steve.
I love Grandpa because he's good at tennis. I love you, Grandpa. I'm named after him.
I love Steve because he has so many talents. I love Grandpa because he goes to bed early and wakes up early.
I love Grandpa Steve because he loves chocolate milk. We make the best homemade ice cream with raspberries in it.
Good thing Grandpa Steve likes homemade ice cream. Happy birthday, Grandpa Steve! Happy birthday, Grandpa! Happy birthday, Grandpa!
I love you, Grandpa. Happy birthday, Grandpa Steve.
Happy birthday, Grandpa!
Happy birthday, Uncle Steve.
Happy birthday, Grandpa! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Grandpa!
Feliz cumpleaños.
Bomba! Grandpa, I love your glasses.
Happy birthday, Grandpa.
You love our North Terrific Grandpa.
This is my best impersonation of Steve.
You can take a nap in the middle of a room with 50 or more socializing people.
We love you, Grandpa Steve. Happy birthday!
Steve, I was really sorry to hear the news that you're turning 60.
Anyway, happy birthday. 60th birthday.
I love Stephen because he's a very special Stephen.
While on my mission, he would wake up early on P-days to try and catch me online before I sent my message.
I love Steve because he's always been there for me for my birthdays and church events.
I actually miss him while I'm out here in Chicago.
He's generous with his talents, and because he genuinely cares about your talents and your life.
Happy birthday, Steve. I love you because you're the father of all my children.
Happy birthday, Dad.
I love you.
Love you, Dad. Happy birthday.
You've had a birthday, shout hooray. We'd really like to celebrate this. Happy birthday, dear Steve. You're 1 year older and wiser too, but any way you say it, it means happy birthday to you.
And I also feel a special connection with him because I'm the same age as his son Tanner.
I think he's one of the most generous people I know.
He helped me get into my house.
He gave me my first photography camera and bag and book, and I still have it.
You let me use and sometimes abuse your camera equipment. Thanks, Dad.
You should give me money to buy gifts for all of my family.
Happy birthday, Steve. Thanks for raising a great daughter and letting us live with you for longer than we anticipated.
I'm glad I'm part of your family.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Happy birthday, Steve. We love you.
And like you remember, Stephen, I told you that you are now this family's patriarch.
Steve is a good priesthood holder in the home. He's a good example and someone I want to follow.
He always has something profound to say in a gospel conversation.
You're a fantastic public speaker. The talks you've given in church are the best.
I know that you are going to carry that mantle very well.
When I've got a gospel question that I'm not quite sure how to answer, or I need to have you look it up for me, or I'm dead tight on a lesson plan, I can call you up, and every time you'll give me the references, where to go, where to look it on the computer, the whole bit. Let me thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
Because he's been true to his faith and kept the commandments.
I love Steve because he leads this family with the priesthood. You've been a great grandpa. My kids adore you, and I love the way you adore them.
I've always felt that Dad has never lacked in supporting his children. Spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially. I've never doubted that my dad loves me, and I am very lucky to have Steve as my dad.
There's of course million different things why I love you, but I can't start to tell them all now. For one thing, I start to cry or do something really stupid.
Love you, brother.
I love you, Steve, because you've been true to me for many years, and you've been true to the covenants we made in the temple.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Happy birthday, Uncle Steve.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Hey, Steve. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Steve. Happy birthday. You're the best.
Happy 60th birthday.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Happy birthday, Steve. I love you.
I love you, Steve, and happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Grandpa.
Happy birthday, Steve.